This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages, welcome to the greatest wrestling game show on earth. Body, press your luck. Test your knowledge and embarrass your peers. Do you have what it takes? Well, step inside for the greatest challenge of your life. And now your hosts, JT Rosero and Jordan Duncan.
Place to Be Nation, welcome to PlaceToBeNation.com's PTBN Wrestling Feed's first ever wrestling trivia game show. I am JT, this is Body Press Your Luck, and joining me as always is my co-host, the one and only, he's back, thank God, Jordan Duncan. Jordan, how are you?
I was just thinking, and not as always, as mostly.
It needs to be as always. It needs to be as
always. Yes. Andy does a great job keeping time.
Yeah, he's good at that. He's not good at reading. Andy Atherton is in the booth, our producer, Andy.
Yeah, I totally concur. I am good at score, not reading words on page screen thing. So welcome back, Jordan.
Cards read good.
Let's keep it that way. So here at Body Press Your Luck, it is a monthly trivia game show. We have 4 rounds, 3 competitors, and 1 7-time champion returning tonight, and we'll get to him in a moment. First, let's bring in our
more episodes than me.
Yes, actually. Oh, boy. All right. And hopefully we're not as chaotic as the last episode, or even beyond, Andy. Last episode was a shit show. But why don't we go ahead and bring in our competitors. The first is an OG PTBN listener. He was a big competitor back in the old Place to Be podcast trivia tournaments as well. He is the Maven of Maine, Mr. Mike Poulin. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, my friend. It's been a long time. It's good to have you back. You've always been on our list here since you were dominant in the trivia game back in the day, so it's good to have you here.
Yep.
All right, our second contender. He loves 2000. He loves you all. He's excited when it's only Saturday. I've never met a man with a kinder, more gentle heart. Lets it all hang out at all times. Mr. Jimmy Gruenberg. James, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. We're excited to have you here, sir. And those 2 strong competitors will be taking on our 3-time champion, who I've run out of things to say. 7-time champion, I've run out of things to say. Seems like there's just 3. Ryan Everett, how are you?
I'm doing. Oh, hold on 1 second. I had my mask on, but Kevin Dunn told me to take it off. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
This guy's been on so many episodes. He's working material in now just to keep busy. How's the children? Everyone out of the picture for tonight, Ryan?
Yeah, I think we should be okay tonight.
Okay. That was the most stressful round of all time in episode 7, for those that may not have heard it. Ryan did the lightning round almost perfectly while holding a crying baby, and it was intense. It was stressful for everyone involved, but it was a lot of fun. And yes, he is a dominant champion, but I think we found some strong contenders here tonight. We're going to go ahead and get things started. Jordan, tell us what our first game is.
So, if you've been listening to the episodes, we like to come up with a theme for every month, and since we are taping in June, one of the most famous June pay-per-views is, of course, the Great American Bash. So our first round is all trivia about WCW's Great American Bash. Notice I said WCW. If you are not adept in the WWE's version of the Great American Bash, don't worry about it. We're not going to ask you any questions about it. Let's pretend like that one never existed. So we've got some questions. It's sort of lightning round style. You're going to get 10 questions. We've ranked them easy, medium, hard, and very hard. Point scales are 1 for easy, 2 for medium, 3 for hard. And if you get the very hard one right, you get 5 points for that. You got 90 seconds on the clock. Clock will start when I ask the first question. If you don't know the answer, you can pass and come back to it. But the first answer that you give is the one that we're going to be locked in with. So make sure the answer you're saying is the answer you want to lock in. I think I explained that pretty well. But it's all Great American Bash. Oh, one other thing. It's Great American Bash on pay-per-view. So the time frame is 88 to 2000. That's all the questions we'll be getting tonight. So unless we have questions, Justin, if you want to tell me who's going first tonight.
I will tell you. It is my son, James Gruenberg.
All right, Mr. Gruenberg, are we ready to play?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. Okay, Andy, are we ready? 90 seconds on the clock for this round. We'll give you a little bit more
90
time.
seconds is on the clock, Jordan.
All right, then you can go ahead and start when I am done reading the first question. And I'll start that one now by saying, which two men competed in a singles match for the WCW Tag Team title at the Great American Bash 1998? Remember, you can pass.
Pass.
All right. Out of 11 pay-per-view shows, how many times did the Bash emanate from Baltimore?
Eight.
Who won the WCW TV title at the 95 Bash?
The Renegade?
All right. Who wrestled as El Gato at the 96 Bash? Remember, time's ticking.
40 seconds left.
Eddie Guerrero.
All right. What was the first match in Great American Bash pay-per-view history? That would be 88.
Pass.
Who competed in an arm wrestling match at the 95 Bash?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay. Who was the special guest referee for Hogan and Kidman in the 2000 Bash?
Horace Hogan.
Who beat the Wall in a tables match at the Bash 2000?
Shane Douglas.
All right.
Shit.
Yeah, he got it.
Give
He
him
got
that
it.
one?
Oh, yeah, he got it. He got it.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
Give him
Grooney.
that one.
Listen, buddy. You got to pick up the speed a little bit, but you did well. You skipped the first one. Which two men competed in a singles match for the WCW tag titles at Bash 98? That was Sting and the Giant. You did get this one right. There were 8 times the Great American Bash was in Baltimore out of the 11 shows. Renegade won the TV title at Bash 95. You get that one. You did not get El Gato. That was Pat Tanaka at Great American Bash 96. The first match in pay-per-view history for Great American Bash was Sting and Nikita Koloff versus Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. The arm wrestling match in 95 was Dave Sullivan and Dallas Page. But you did get your 2000s, which I was happy about. You got the special guest referee for Hogan versus Kidman was Horace. And the man who beat the Wall in the tails match was Shane Douglas. So you got a total of 8 points. You didn't get to the last 2. So we'll save those. And we will move on to our next competitor. And that is Mike Poulin.
All right. Mike, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right. Andy, are we ready with the clock?
Clock is ready.
All right, so again, start ticking once I'm done with our first question, which I will read now. Who challenged the Outsiders for the WCW tag titles at the 97 Bash?
Flair and Piper.
In which 2 years did WCW skip the Great American Bash?
93 and 94.
Who challenged Goldberg for the WCW title at the 98 Bash?
That would be Conan.
Who won the King of the Hill Battle Royal in 1989?
Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey.
What was the stipulation for the Medusa versus Akira Hokuto match at the 97 Bash?
If Medusa loses, she retires.
Who wrestled as Black Blood in 91?
Billy Jack Haynes.
Who did G.I. Bro defeat in a boot camp match at the 2000 Great American Bash?
Sean Stasiak.
Name 4 of the 6 people ringside for the Horsemen versus Mongo and Green tag match at 96.
Flair, Arn, Mongo, Deborah, Bobby Heenan, and Kevin Green.
Who was in Sting's corner for his match in 1989?
I don't know. Pass.
All right. Name the 5 men that won the Tower of Doom match in 1988.
Pass.
All right, go back to...
Let's give him that other one again. It was 4 of the 6 people at ringside, Mike, in that 96
Yeah, so not
Horsemen
competitors,
versus
but
Mongo and Kevin.
Ringside 96. So you had mentioned
Pass.
Flair. Okay. Who was in Sting's corner in 89?
Eddie Gilbert?
Time.
Got that one just
Yeah, he got it, he got it.
You got that one right. That's a showing. Not bad.
He's on fire out of the gate, Mike Poulin. All right. The Outsiders were challenged by Piper and Flair. In 93 and 94, there were no Great American Bash pay-per-views. Conan challenged Goldberg for the WCW title at Bash 98. Spivey and Sid won the King of the Hill Battle Royal in 89. Medusa's career was on the line against Akira Hokuto's title in 97. Billy Jack Haynes portrayed Black Blood in 1991. Sean Stasiak defeated or lost to G.I. Bro in the boot camp. 4 of the 6 people at ringside in 96 would have been, the 6 were Woman, Elizabeth, Bobby Heenan, Randy Savage, Deborah McMichael, and Tara Green, the wife of Kevin Green. Eddie Gilbert was indeed in Sting's corner in the Bash in 89. And the 5 men who won the Tower of Doom at 88 were Hawk Animal, Steve Williams, Ronnie Garvin, and Jimmy Garvin. A total of 15 points, Mike Poulin. A very strong first round. And Ryan Everett, for the first time in months, the heat is on you.
Very nice. Very nice.
Listen to that. Challenge accepted. All right, Ryan, I don't think I need to explain anything to you, correct?
Nope, I'm ready.
All right. Andy, you got the clock?
It's ready.
All right, here we go. Who did Sting defeat for her first NWA World title in 1990?
Ric Flair.
Who lost the U.S. title tournament final in 1995?
Sting.
How many singles matches occurred at Bash 1992?
1.
Who won the main event of the 1991 Great American Bash?
Rick Steiner.
Which 3 women accompanied Randy Savage to the ring in the 99 Bash?
Miss Madness, Medusa, and Gorgeous George.
Who helped Ric Flair regain the WCW presidency in 99?
Roddy Piper.
Who represented the West Texas Rednecks at the 1999 Great American Bash?
Kurt Hennig and Bobby Duncan.
Who defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in an elimination match at the 91 Bash?
Could you repeat that?
Who defeated the Freebirds in an elimination match in the 91 Bash?
The Young Pistols and Dustin Rhodes.
With which NFL team did Kevin Green play for the season after he wrestled at the 97 Bash?
Carolina Panthers.
And name the final 4 teams in the NWA Tag Title Tourney in 1992.
Terry Gordy, Steve Williams, Dustin and Wyndham.
We'll let him give the answer.
Yeah, he can finish the answer. He started it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Steamboat and Koloff, and the 2 Japanese, Hase and Hashimoto.
Oh my God! It's always that last one he gets in on the fucking gun.
Yeah.
But we have a game.
Nice.
We have a game. Ryan Everett. Sting defeated Ming to win defeated Ric Flair to win the NWA World Title 90. You get that. Ming lost the U.S. Tournament final at Bash 95 to Sting. Sting and Ming, Sting and Flair. Yeah. Lots going on. There was one singles match at Great American Bash 92. You get that. Rick Steiner ended Bash 91 fittingly. In that main event, Medusa, Gorgeous George, and Miss Madness accompanied Randy Savage in 99. Buff Bagwell helped Ric Flair regain the presidency.
Oh.
So you did not get that one. Kurt Hennig and Bobby Duncombe represented the West Texas Rednecks. Dustin Rhodes and the Young Pistols defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in 91. Kevin Green played for the San Francisco 49ers the year after he wrestled at Bash 97.
Oh, it was Panthers the year before, I guess.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Niners for 1 year. And you got the teams right for 92 with Steamboat, Koloff, Williams and Gordy, Rhodes and Wyndham, and Hase and Hashimoto for a total of 17 points. So we got a battle here after round 1. Ryan Everett with 17, Mike Poulin with 15, and Jimmy Gruenberg in the game with 8. Before we get to game number 2.
8 does not put you too far off.
No, not in this game. There's so many points.
No, not at all.
All right, the PTBN Wrestling Network. You listen to this show right here on that feed right now. Chris Zellner and Devin Hales had a Backlash 2020 reaction show. Also had a brand new show on the feed, Wrestling's Chicken Salad with Ben Locke, joined by Logan Crossland and Sean Kidd. Went over a myriad perceived bad pay-per-views in wrestling history. That's the gimmick of the show. In this episode, debut recapped the 91 Great American Bash, made evented by Rick Steiner himself. On the latest NWA Saturday special, Scott Dr. G, joined by Callum McDougall, leading a series of NWA's Mount Rushmore with a discussion on Harley Race. Also have another new show on the feed, The Highway to the Impact Zone. Logan Crossland, needs for me to say, and Jake Williams start the Impact era of TNA with guests Sean Kidd and Lewis Maynard for the Made in Flight, looking at the last weekly pay-per-view of the Impact era that was number 97. The newest senior video has Rory and Callum going over the epic Rampage 92 Coliseum home video from beginning to end. And of course, the Place to Be podcast is back this week too. Myself and Scott Criscolo, joined by Peter Winston to look at the main event special on NBC from November of '90, the night after Survivor Series. We also had a brand new episode of The Great Debate Wrestling. Andy, you hosted that. I believe Mr. Gruenberg was on that, right? Along with Scott?
Yes, it was Gruenberg,
And Logan.
Scott, and Logan Crosby. A lot of great stuff on that show.
Very good. Look at those studs and Scott on that show. So a lot going on there. Be sure to subscribe to the PTBN Wrestling Network feed. Rate us and review us, as always, there. And now we're going to move on. We're going to transition, if you will, step away, over to game number 2. Category is Wrestler Deaths. So each of you will get 10 of those. They range from easy, medium, hard, and very hard again. Same point schedule. 3 easy, worth 1 point. 3 medium, worth 2 points. 3 hard, worth 3. And a very hard, worth 5. We will give you the wrestler. So what we're going to do is, if you give how they died, you get the points. If you give the year, you get a bonus point. So a lot of points on the line here in this game. I wanted to just confirm
Also, only
myself.
60 seconds for the round this
Yeah, 60 seconds this time, too. So everyone got that clear?
Do we have? I got a question. Do we have
Yeah.
to be like specific, or like if it's like heart disease, do we just say like? Oh,
Be as
yeah, I
specific
don't
as
know.
you can to do
Okay.
it. Okay.
Yeah. As I was asking, I realized it didn't make sense.
No, it does, because there are some.
We had a great
Yeah.
discussion about this before we came.
We had a
on
great
the
debate.
air,
Yeah. So yeah, be as specific as you can, and we'll say the wrestler. You say how they died. That gets you the point allotment. If you say the year, you get 1 bonus point for each. So everyone have a full understanding, because I know I kind of explained that in a shaky manner. Everyone good?
Yeah.
Okay.
A
All right.
lot of points up for the grabs here.
Yeah, there's a ton in this one, so everyone's in play. All right, Poulin, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. It'll start when I say the first wrestler's name. Here we go. Eddie Gilbert.
Pass.
Uncle Elmer.
Heart attack, and I don't know the year.
Randy Savage.
Car accident, 2011.
Buzz Sawyer.
Pass.
Brady Boone.
Pass.
John Tenta.
Heart attack, 2006.
John Cronus.
Pass.
Steve Dahl.
Pass.
Jay Youngblood.
Pass.
Hack Myers.
Pass.
Back to
And
Eddie
elect-
Gilbert.
I don't know. Pass.
Okay, and were you going to say something for Hack Myers? You can still.
Yes, I know he died in 2015. I'm not sure what of, though.
All right, time's ticking, so if you want to take some shots. Buzz Sawyer.
Heart attack.
Brady Boone.
Overdose.
John Cronus.
Time.
Overdose.
Okay. This is a tricky game. It's not something you commit to memory usually. Eddie Gilbert is the first one. Jordan Duncan's going to tell us the answers.
Yep, Eddie died of a heart attack in 1995. Uncle Elmer died of diabetes 1992. Now, Randy Savage, you'd said car accident. We have it listed as heart attack, but I believe he had a heart attack while in his car. And,
Yeah, I think we'll give him that one.
yeah.
There's the car
and we
accident
did,
slash
and
heart
you got
attack.
the year, 2011, so you get double there. Buzz Sawyer, a cocaine-induced heart attack, also 92, just like Uncle Elmer. Brady Boone also died in a car accident in 1998. John Tenta, I believe you said heart attack, but he actually passed from bladder cancer, but you did get the year 2006. John Cronus was heart failure, 2007. Steve Dahl died of a blood clot in 2009. Jay Youngblood died of a heart attack in 1985. That's a lot longer ago than I thought. And Hack Myers, you did get the year right. You were right about 2015. Complications from brain surgery is
Ew.
how. Yeah.
Did not do
Tough
well
way to
this
go.
round.
You got 6 points. That's a hard round, honestly. So
Yeah, tough
one of
round.
the pluses of having all these shots at it is you can still get some points even with a tough showing. And we'll have a real judgment of how tough this game is with Ryan Everett up next. Ryan, you ready?
Let me. Yep.
Okay.
Ready.
All right, here we go. The clock will start when I name the first name, and that is Reed Flair.
Drug overdose in 2013.
Andre the Giant.
Heart attack in 1993.
Chris Von Erich.
Chris Von Erich. Suicide, 1988.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Cancer, 2006.
Chris Adams.
Gunshot, 2003.
Johnny Grunge.
Pass.
Little Beaver.
I don't know. King Kong Bundy slash.
Brickhouse Brown.
Pass.
Mass Transit. All right. It is a hard game. It's been confirmed to be a hard
This might be
game.
the toughest one we've done, yeah.
Yeah.
But you still got some right. Reed Flair did die of a drug overdose in 2013. Got both the cause and the year. So Andre, he said heart attack. We have congestive heart failure. Justin, what are we going to do with this one?
Nah, that's a negative because, like we talked about before, he had multiple heart attacks and lived. No, he did have a heart attack before that. It was heart failure. He passed away in his sleep from
Well, the
heart failure.
snake gave him a heart attack.
We actually discussed that very specific incident. But you did get the year. You did get 1993. Chris Von Erich, suicide. That was 1991, though. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, passed from throat cancer. You said cancer. We'll count that. That was 2009. Chris Adams was shot. It was in 2001. Johnny Grunge, sleep apnea complications. That's one I did not know. 2000. I say one. I don't know any of these. 2006. Little Beaver, emphysema, maybe caused by smoking, which stunts your growth. So that could, explain. That was in 1995. And then Brickhouse Brown passed from prostate cancer just a couple years ago, 2018.
And the last two we didn't get to. Yeah. All right, listen, Gruenberg, you have a wide open opportunity here for you to pick up some points and get back in the game. You ready?
Yep. Yes, I am.
All right. As soon as I read the first name, 60 seconds. So remember, you got to move, okay?
Yep.
All right, here we go. First one, Adrian Adonis.
Drug overdose, 1995.
Brian Pillman.
Drug overdose, 1997.
Chris Candido.
Blood clot, 2005.
Big John Studd.
Heart attack, 1998.
Art Barr.
Gunshot, 1995.
Terry Gordy.
Pass.
SD Jones.
Pass.
Big Dick Dudley.
Drug overdose, 2002.
Jumbo Saruta.
Pass.
Timothy Well.
Hanging, 2005.
You had to get the one hanging in. All right, Grooney. I know these weren't directly in your wheelhouse, but he did
Still got
okay.
2 points, though.
Yeah, he did okay.
Adrian Adonis actually died in a car accident in 1988. Brian Pillman. Justin, you want to tell us what that first word is there?
Arteriosclerotic.
Yeah, I think he's a WWF Hall of Famer. Heart disease, 1997. So you did get the year there. Chris Candido. So this one's interesting. You said blood clot. We have it listed as pneumonia, but if the story was that his brother had reported that he did die of a blood clot from surgery, and it wasn't until years later that it was clarified there's pneumonia. So I'm okay with giving him blood
Yeah,
clot.
for sure. It was like a combo. The blood clot, he went on the plane with the broken leg and all that stuff.
For years, people thought it was blood clot. It wasn't until years later that people found out it was actually pneumonia that caused it. So we'll give that one to you. And you got the year right. That was 2005. Big John Studd died of liver cancer in 1995. Art Barr, heart attack caused by a drug overdose, 1994. Terry Gordy, blood clot, 2001. SD Jones, who before we went on the air, I admitted did not even know he had passed, died of a stroke in 2008. Big Dick Dudley, kidney failure, 2002. You did get the year right on that one. Jumbo Saruta, liver transplant complications in 2000. And did we get to Timothy Well? Yes, we did. Kidney failure, 2017.
All right, so that's 4 for you, Grooney.
Points.
Yeah, you did all right. You're in it. You're in sniffing distance. And here's the totals after 2 rounds.
Because that's a 3. He got the year for Big
No,
Dick Dudley,
it's only
right?
a bonus point.
Oh, bonus 1 point. Never mind. Okay.
All right. I'd love to give him 20. All right. Total scores after 2 rounds. Jimmy Gruenberg with 12. Mike Poulin with 21. Ryan Everett with 25. Anybody's game here as we head toward round 3. But first, Jordan, why don't you tell us what's going on in the PTBN pop feed?
Yes, first, if you have not subscribed to the pop feed, go ahead and do that now on your mobile device. Because here's some of the things you can listen to on the latest episode of Great Debate. Andy is joined by Sean Kidd, Matt Souza, and Scott Shiflett to discuss and debate a variety of pop culture topics. You'll have to tune in to find out exactly what they're talking about. Also, with Andy, Derek Cornett stops in at the Laugh-In Theater to watch the classic baseball comedy Major League. Might be the only baseball you get to see this year. So go ahead and watch that while you watch it with Andy and listen with Andy and Derek. On the newest episode of It Was a Thing on TV, our trio looks at classic game shows, Supermarket Sweep, an all-time great. The 1983-84 sitcom We Got It Made, and the new version of Press Your Luck, which is hosted by Elizabeth Banks. So they look at some very unique shows. And Diamond Conversations welcome LA Dodgers assistant pitching coach Connor McGinnis and his brother Mike McGinnis, the men behind the training tool Clean Fuego, for a discussion with Chad.
And Nigel McGinnis to talk about Ring of Honor, I believe, is on there.
Yes.
All right, Jordan, what's going on for game number 3?
We got the Refugees All-Stars, rubber dubbing in the club. Wyclef Jean Forte.
Round 3. Another June staple. Not really a staple so much anymore. Just like the Bash, it's kind of gone away. But one of our favorite June events was the King of the Ring. Now, it's not a King of the Ring tournament, but it is all about tournaments. So, guys, we have scoured the record books. We've looked up all kinds of wrestling tournaments. This is inspired by the King of the Ring. And what we've done is we've looked up a tournament. We've looked up someone who did not win that tournament. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the name and the year of that tournament. I'm going to tell you the person who was eliminated. What I need to hear from you is who eliminated them. Simple enough. Again, the scores are just like they've been for all the other rounds. 3 easy, 3 medium, 3 hard, 1 very hard, 1 point for the easy, 2 for the medium, 3 for hard, and 5 for very hard. So you can get a whole lot of points here. You can do some catching up or secure a lead, whatever you need to do. But again, one more quick thing. I'll give you the wrestler first who lost. I'll give you the tournament they lost in. You tell me not who won the tournament, but who eliminated that person specifically. Any questions? Cool.
No.
All right, then Justin, tell me who's going first on this one.
All right, it'll be 60 seconds on the clock when we do. And up first is Mr. Gruenberg.
Mr. Gruenberg.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Here.
Only 60 seconds, so feel free to pass if needed. Andy, once I say the name of the tournament, you start that clock. All right, Grueny, your wrestler is Tatanka. The tournament is the 94 King of the Ring.
Owen Hart.
The Rock in the 1998 King of the Ring.
Ken Shamrock.
Test in the 2002 King of the Ring.
Brock Lesnar.
Ricky Steamboat in the Wrestling Classic.
Sting.
The Revival in the 2015 Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Pass.
Conan and Rey Mysterio in the 1990 Starrcade Tag Tournament.
The Steiners.
Triple H in the inaugural tournament for the European title.
Davey Boy.
Spanky in the tournament for the 2002 Ring of Honor title.
Bryan Danielson.
Candice LeRae in the 2014 Battle of Los Angeles tournament.
Pass.
All right.
All right, bounce back a bit here, James.
Yep.
Tatanka was eliminated by Owen Hart in 1994. The Rock eliminated by Ken Shamrock in 98. And Test by Brock Lesnar in 02. You got all 3 of those. Ricky Steamboat eliminated by Randy Savage in the Wrestling Classic. The Revival lost to Samoa Joe and Finn Balor in the 15 Dusty Classic. The Steiners did eliminate Conan and Rey Mysterio in 1990 Starrcade. And these last 3 you did get wrong. Triple H lost to Bret Hart in the European title tournament. Spanky lost to Low Key in the ROH tournament. And Candice LeRae lost to her future husband, Johnny Gargano, in the Battle of Los Angeles in 2014. That gives you 5 points, James.
Not bad.
Hey.
All right. What do we got next?
Yeah, that would be Mr. Mike Poulin.
Mr. Poulin. All right. Any questions? Or you got the gist by now, correct?
I got it. Go ahead.
All right, Andy, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, your wrestler is Jim Duggan. The tournament is the 93 King of the Ring.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
How about X-Pac in the 99 King of the Ring?
Billy Gunn.
Christian in the 2001 King of the Ring.
Kurt Angle.
Dino Bravo in the WrestleMania 4 title tournament.
Don Morocco.
Sting in the 99 WCW title tournament.
Bret Hart.
The Usos, the 2016 SmackDown tag title tournament.
Rhino and Heath Slater.
How about the Road Warriors in the 88 Crockett Cup?
Pass.
Satoshi Kojima in the 1998 G1 Climax.
Pass.
Steve Blackman in the Brawl for All.
The Godfather.
Vader in the 1992 Jesse Ventura Arm Wrestling Tournament.
Pass.
Back to the Road Warriors in the Crockett Cup.
I'm gonna say Arn Anderson and Barry Windham.
All right.
Time.
All right. You were on a hot streak there for a bit, Mike. Jim Duggan lost to Bam Bam Bigelow in 93, X-Pac to Billy Gunn in 99, Christian to Kurt Angle in 01, Dino Bravo to Don Morocco at WrestleMania 4, Sting to Bret Hart in the 99 WCW title tournament, the Usos lost to Heath Slater and Rhino in 2016. These last four you did not get. Road Warriors lost to the Powers of Pain at the 88 Crockett Cup. Kojima lost to Hashimoto in the 98 G1. Steve Blackman lost to Mark Merrow in the Brawl for All, and Vader lost to Van Hammer in the Jesse Ventura 92 Arm Wrestling Tournament. And that gives you a total of 9 points for that round, so good showing for you.
Not bad at
and
all.
that brings us up Ryan Everett.
Okay,
All
Ryan,
right.
you haven't gone yet, but as of right now, you are in a position you're not used to being in. You are slightly behind.
Oh boy.
Now you haven't
Like that.
you haven't taken your turn this round, but we'll see.
All right, it's like a baseball game where a team goes ahead in the
Yeah,
first
so
you know,
still get
top
the bottom
of the inning.
Yes.
Yes.
You still get your last ups. All right. So you know how this one works. Andy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We'll start with The Undertaker in the 95 King of the Ring.
Mabel.
Jerry Lawler in the 97 King of the Ring.
Mankind.
Chris Jericho in the 2000 King of the Ring.
Kurt Angle.
Mankind in the 98 Intercontinental Title Tournament.
X-Pac.
Aguila in the 1997 Light Heavyweight Title Tournament. WWF.
Pass.
The Great Sasuke, the 1994 Super J Cup.
Justin Liger.
Tony Atlas in the King of Cable Tournament, WCW.
Dustin Rhodes.
Vader, the 2000 All Japan Champions Carnival.
Kobashi.
New Jack, the TNA Hard 10 Tournament.
Pass.
The Faces of Pain, the 2012 Chikara King of Trios.
Pass.
All right, back to Aguila in the 97 Light Heavyweight Tournament.
Time.
All right, you got that one. Listen, I don't know if Ryan's going to win or lose, but I'm proud that we're making him work this month.
Yeah, we're going
That
to
is
the
for
final
sure.
round, and it's not clear yet.
Oh, all right. You got the first handful here. Undertaker lost to Mabel in 95, Lawler to Mankind in 97, Chris Jericho to Kurt Angle in 2000, Mankind to X-Pac in 98, Mr. Aguila lost to Taka Michinoku in 97. Then you hit the skids. Great Sasuke lost to Wild Pegasus in the 94 Super J. Tony Atlas lost to Vader in the King of Cable. Vader lost to Misawa in the All Japan Champion Carnival in 2000. New Jack lost to the Sandman in the TNA Hard 10. And the Faces of Pain lost to Team Ring of Honor in the 12 Shikara King of Trios. That gives you, Ryan Everett, 7 points that round. And heading into the finals, we have James Gruenberg with 17. Mike Poulin with 30. Ryan Everett with 32. So we have ourselves a game heading to that lightning round. But first, really quickly, let me tell you a couple other things about what we have to offer here from our friends and family at the Place to Be Nation. A couple other podcast feeds, additional ones we've already told you about tonight. Jennifer says Jenny Position, the home of Geek and Sassy, Talking Pop, which, by the way, just had a brand new episode drop very recently with Calvin Kroll, and it's an amazing listen. Calvin has had a hell of a life and some really good stories. I highly recommend that episode. check it out. New Freak Out Drive-In, Brother Sister Rewatch podcast, The Journey Through Infinity, and much, much more. Plus, my feed along with Chad Campbell and Aaron George, the North-South Connection Podcast Network, official home of Wrestling Warzone, No Holds Barred, The Extreme Three-Way Dance, Jeff Learns Wrestling, Ruthlessly Aggressive Podcast, TNA, Never Dies, and so much more. Podcasts coming to you 5 days a week there. Subscribe, rate us, and review us. We much appreciate it. We've also kicked off our 2020 stretch project, determining the greatest WCW match ever. You have until New Year's Eve to research, promote, and build your list. Conversation and rules at facebook.com/GWCW matches or the Pro Wrestling Only message board. Also, we'll have a brand new tournament kicking off very soon, so be sure to join up on our PTBN Tournaments social media page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter to get in on the newest one, which, of course, we announced earlier this week will be the Greatest Songs from Movies tournament. Doesn't have to be a score, but it's going to be songs that were famous or heavily featured in hit movies. Also, be sure to check out PlayStation.com each and every day. New voices, fresh takes, bring you articles, topics of world of wrestling, sports, pop culture. Trent, SmackDown, and Fox Report, The Week in WWE with John Crow, Paulie's Perspective, Ben's Unpopular Opinion, and Glenn Butler's Wednesday Walk Around the Web. Also, if you're doing some shopping, PlayStation.com/Amazon is the place to be.
All right, Justin.
Yeah.
One thing, PlayStation.com, the final 5 of the greatest WWE televised match ever will be revealed this Friday, probably the same day this pod goes live. So thank you everybody who participated. Thank you everybody who worked behind the scenes to compile all these, especially Tyler Kelly.
Yeah.
The man was the heart and soul of the project and worked tirelessly to get all those results on the site. So I want to thank him personally on the air and thank everybody for participating once again to another stretch project for PlayStation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
And he has 6 months to rest now before he's going to churn out the answers to GWCW.
Yes.
He's our Iron Man for sure. All right. Everyone knows the points. Everyone knows where they stand. As you know, we instituted the rule that in the lightning round, the final round, we will go from the person with the least points to the person with the most points in that order. So, Mr. Gruenberg, you'll be up first. There'll be 10 questions. 3 easy, 3 medium, 3 hard, 1 very hard. No specific theme, just various questions from the world of wrestling history. And I think that's about it. And you'll have 90 seconds to do so. You can skip as always. Clock will start when I finish the first question. Any questions from you, James?
No, sir.
All right, here we go. Still in the game. Make it count. Andy, you ready?
I'm ready.
On what special episode of WWF Television did Shawn Michaels forfeit the WWF title?
Tuesday Night Raw.
How many times did the Hart Foundation compete for the tag team titles at a SummerSlam?
3 times.
Who ended Nikki Bella's 310-day reign as Diva Champion in 2015?
Pass.
Who did Buff Bagwell face in a boxing match at Bash of the Beach 99?
Piper.
Who did Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Holly defeat to win the Raw tag titles in 2007?
Pass.
Who comprised WCW's Revolution faction?
Shane Douglas.
Who else? The 4 guys.
Shane Douglas, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit.
In what arena did Kerry Von Erich defeat Ric Flair to win the NWA World title?
Greensboro Coliseum.
Who won the only 2 WBF championships?
Lex Luger.
Which 5 men accompanied Oz to the ring at Super Bowl I for his debut?
Repeat that. Repeat that.
Which 5 people accompanied Oz to the ring for his debut at Super Bowl I?
Pass.
Who are the founding fathers of Ring of Honor? 3 people.
CM Punk. Samoa Joe. I don't know the third one.
Who ended Nikki Bella's 310-day reign as Divas Champion in 2015? Want to take a shot? Let's read the question. No?
AJ Lee.
All right. Tough night, Gruenberg. Tough night.
Yep.
Jordan, you want to give us the answers?
I will say, though, I'm proud of how he answers with such conviction.
Yes, he believes, even if they're wrong as fuck, he believes in them.
So on which episode of WWF TV did Shawn Michaels forfeit the title? It was actually Thursday Raw, Thursday, not Tuesday.
Ah, son of a bitch! Because I knew it wasn't on a Monday.
Yeah, that's true. Give him a half point, Andy. how many times did the Hearts compete for the tag title at SummerSlam? It was 2. Charlotte is the one who ended Nikki Bella's title reign in 2015. You did get this one, though. Roddy Piper did face Buff Bagwell in a boxing match in the 99 Bash at the Beach. Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Holly defeated Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. Was he Lance or was he Garrison Cade by then? I don't know if he...
It was Lance.
Yeah. It was,
all right.
Yeah.
You got the Revolution faction, though. Benoit, Malenko, Saturn, and Douglas. Got all of them. Kerry Van Erich beat Ric Flair at the Texas Stadium. I think he might have lost it back at Greensboro. I'm not sure, though.
There's a shock.
This one I never would have gotten. The WBF champion was Gary Stridham. Never heard of him.
I thought Lex Luger was part of the WBF at that time.
Well, he was the face, but apparently he was not the champion.
I thought they just wait for him to win.
The 5 people who accompanied Oz to the ring in Super Bowl I was Dorothy, the Tin Man, Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion, and the Grand Wizard. Not a very good name. Ring of Honor are Brian Danielson, Low Key, and Christopher Daniels.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a terrible name. But I guess, yeah. Meant to be the wizard,
thanks,
I guess.
guys.
The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, the points aren't there, but the entertainment was.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
4 points for you,
All right,
Rudy.
let's see what the other guys got.
All right, you can sit back and enjoy this grand finale. Mike Poulin, you were within 2 of our 7-time champion. I think this is the closest anyone's been going into the final round, pretty much. How you feeling?
Good. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Andy, you got 60 seconds ready? 90 seconds ready, I should say.
All right. Yeah, it's 90.
Who saved Snuka and Slaughter at Night of Champions 07?
Pass.
Time.
Andy and Jordan will have to
ruling.
Yeah, we'll have to have a ruling in a moment on that one, but let's get there.
We'll get to that one.
China attacked Marlena in a Raw debut. The first match in Raw history was Yokozuna versus Coco Beware. I'm a little disappointed in this one, Poulin. Jesse Ventura famously claimed to add only 2 pinkies worth of pressure to the bar when Dino Bravo broke the weightlifting record. Rick Martel and Tony Garea saved Slaughter and Snuka from Deuce and Domino. Kama and Ahmed debuted as part of the Nation on the 6/16/97 Raw. Sting and Vader traded the title in Dublin and London. You got this one right. Eddie Guerrero defeated Too Cold Scorpio to make his to win the TV title in his debut. Hulk Hogan faced Ted DiBiase in his first ever match at Madison Square Garden. All right, so I'm inclined to give this one because it's really hard. Kevin Owens defeated C.J. Parker in his debut, who is Juice Robinson.
Yep.
But Andy's our official judge, so it's up to him to decide.
Pressure. I'll give it to him because he got the wrestler right. So the name sometimes.
As you were reading the question, I saw C.J. Parker. I said, Juice.
Ryan, would you like to lodge a formal complaint to that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right, and the 3 New Generation stars that teamed were, you got one of them, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Tatanka, and Aldo Montoya teamed up in the King of Trios tournament.
That is.
You got 13 points, Mike. Very good showing. That puts you at 43. So, Ryan, you need 9 to tie, 10 to win.
11.
11 to win, right? 11 to tie.
12 to
My
win.
math sucks. I think it was changing as I was reading it. So 11 to tie, 12 points to win. And remember, as always, if you get a perfect score and you win, which you would if you got a perfect score, you get to choose the order you go in every time next month.
Gotcha.
All right, we got some drama. It's exciting. 90 seconds, Andy.
I'm ready.
All right, Ryan, you good?
Yep.
Who pushed Hawk off the Titantron in 1998?
Draws.
Who did Brutus Beefcake defeat in his first WWF match after his parasailing accident?
IRS.
Who teamed with Lex Luger's Guts and Glory at the 94 Survivor Series?
Adam Bomb, the Smoking Guns, and Mabel.
Which 3 men portrayed Big, Super, and Giant Machine in the WWF?
Blackjack Mulligan, Masked Superstar Bill 80, and Andre the Giant.
Who ended Adam Cole's NXT North American title reign?
Ricochet.
Which award was Stephanie McMahon set to receive when Shane McMahon made his return to TV in 2016?
Pass.
Which team defeated the Road Warriors to win the NWA tag titles when referee Teddy Long made a fast count?
Varsity Club.
Who were the trainers for season 5 of Tough Enough when it rebooted in 2010?
Steve
3.
Austin, Booker T, Trish Stratus.
Who defeated Randy Savage in the first ever match in Thunder history?
Chris Adams.
Which former NWA World Champion did Joey Janela beat at his first spring break event?
Pass.
The award Stephanie was set to receive when Shane returned.
Best Pass.
Which former NWA World Champion did Joey Janela defeat at Spring Break?
I remember seeing that. Marty Jannetty.
All right. I don't know if anyone's keeping score, but the pressure has built, and we'll reveal in a moment who pushed Hawk off the Titantron. That was Draws. Yeah, Jordan, I always do it at least once a game. You go.
Listen, I don't blame you. This
I get
is
excited.
about as close as it can get. Yeah, it was Draws. Brutus Beefcake actually beat Ted DiBiase in his first match after parasailing. Yeah, that one might cost you. We'll find out. Lex Luger teamed with Adam Bomb, Smoking Guns, and Mabel. You got that one right in '94 Survivor Series. The three men who portrayed the big, super, and giant machine got that. It was Bill Eadie, Blackjack Mulligan, and Andre. Ricochet ended Adam Cole's North American title reign. The award that Stephanie was set to receive was the Vince McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award. Very prestigious. I'm surprised you didn't remember that one, Ryan.
Montgomery Born Burns.
The team that defeated the Road Warriors, you said the Varsity Club. That is correct. It was Mike Rotunda and Steve Williams specifically. The three trainers, you got this one wrong because you said Steve Austin. It was actually Bill DeMott was the trainer along with Trish Stratus and Booker T.
Austin was the host.
Yeah, Stone Cold was the host. But then you got this one, pretty clutch. The first ever WCW Thunder match. Chris Adams defeated Randy Savage. And the former NWA champion that Joey Janela defeated at first Spring Break was Dan Severn.
All right, so if
Dan Severn versus Joey Janela, interesting.
So if you had those points, Ryan, you needed 11 to tie, right? Mm-hmm. And you needed 12 to win. You can thank Chris Adams for beating Randy Savage on Thunder. You got 12 points. You win by 1 over Mike Poulin.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go
in a war. And that was Jordan said it was clutch, and it was clutch. That was a hard one. You nailed it, and it just put you over. If you didn't get that, you would have lost. Poulin, hell of a showing. We're gonna have you back soon because you were one of the closest. You were the closest to Ryan, and you should get another shot just because of that. Ryan, anything you want to say as 8-time champion?
Well, I was worried because earlier you predicted I'd go the route of Rocky 3, and tonight I actually went on a date with my wife, so I thought maybe I was going soft, but Chris Adams helped me, and
I got weakened legs.
I got 2 Chris Adams questions.
You did, as he helped you twice.
He got shot in a trailer park and then beating Randy Savage.
Yeah, 2 Chris Adams, 2 Shakara King of Trios questions tonight as well in our games.
Did well. All right, guys. That was a great episode. A lot of fun. It was exactly what I hoped for when we put this panel together. Hot competition. I want to thank you all for joining, and everyone, thank you for listening. Be sure to check out everything we have to offer here in the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed and the other feeds we talked about earlier. For Jordan and Andy and our defending champion Ryan Everett and our other competitors Mike and James, I'm JT. We're out. We'll talk to you next month on Body Press Your Luck.